We talking football, X's and O's. Let's go.
Welcome back to Bold Predictions Podcast, coming at you with Week 4 NFL action. He's Mr. KC from the 813, and I'm that dude with the beard. And Mr. KC, we had an exciting week of football last week, eating a little crow this week. Some interesting things is happening, some things that are going on, and I want to see what's going on with you. How you feeling, my man?
Yeah, man, it's been an exciting week in football pretty much all year. It's a very unpredictable season this year almost. Even though we get bold, it seems like the NFL keeps it even bolder than we can even predict.
Man, not lying about that here, especially a few upsets. We'll touch on all of that here. If you don't mind, we go ahead and just jump right on in here. We got action coming up tomorrow, Thursday night, the 29th, and we have, it seems to be your sweet beloved, your Miami Dolphins versus Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I'm so indifferent on this one, I'm going to actually let you have the floor first. And if you don't mind, Mr. Casey, you tell me what you think. I mean, it is the 813. What we doing?
Well, as everybody knows, for the last 3 weeks, I have picked the Miami Dolphins to win their games. So it should become no shock that I'm going to pick them for this road victory, even coming off a rough game with the Bills. It really scares me that they're the away team here. I think that's a big leg up for Joe Burrow. But the Miami Dolphins have been on fire, and I think if Tua plays, it should be a sure victory for the Dolphins. That dude with the beard, have I finally convinced you that these Finns are a real team?
I wouldn't say that I'm convinced just yet, Mr. Casey, but I'm definitely going to go with Miami because I thoroughly know that these Bengals aren't ready for action. So, yeah, I would say it's my disbelief in the Cincinnati Bengals right now that'll push me toward Miami winning this game. I think Miami are looking pretty feasible. They have quality wins. I'm not taking nothing from them. I mean, looking at their stats in these wins, it's a lot of gritty play. We'll have to see how that serves them going down further along in the season. I think it'll be enough to get it done, like you said, if Tua plays against these Bengals. But this might be Miami's trap game, the game that brings them back down to reality. So we'll have to see. But I'm going to go ahead and ride with these Dolphins this week, and we'll see if that pretty girl gives me her number, and we'll roll with it this time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely on that one.
Mm. Miami. Next we got coming up here, we got the Minnesota Vikings at the New Orleans Saints. And I, without a shadow of a doubt, I'm still riding with Minnesota. I'm going with the Vikings. I just think, like I said, they have to continue their march for the North because if they don't, it could slip away. Aaron decided he wanted to start playing football earlier in the season than expected, so we'll see what happens with that. But I'm still riding with the Vikings over New Orleans. I think New Orleans still got some things to figure out. Um, Once they really get rolling, they'll have an identity. We'll see what New Orleans can do. I would say around week 7 is when I'll really start paying more attention to how they're playing. But as of right now, without a doubt, Minnesota in this one. What about you, Mr. KC?
Well, that dude with the beard, I'm joining the same bandwagon as you on these Vikings. We both had predicted to them to win their division. And the only funky thing about this game is it's a London game, I believe. And
Right.
being
Morning.
international, traveling, weird things happen. But I think it's a much more solid Vikings team, and the Saints don't seem to have it together right now. So I'm going to go with the safe pick with the Vikings.
Right. And we'll see what New Orleans can do. Like I said, they can be a feasible team. The defense, when they want to be, can, really swarm and attack the football. But like I said, I'm just thinking it's going to take them a little while longer to get jailed, and we're going to see what they can do against these Vikings. But I'm glad we're both on the same page with that here.
Yeah.
Let's see. Now, to start off normal kickoff time here in the States, first game on the docket, if you will, we got the Cleveland Browns against the Atlanta Falcons. And I will go ahead and defer to you for this one. And I want to hear what you got to pick. On this, I'm going to leave it to you. That's all I got to say about that. Not even words can bring
Yeah,
it.
that dude with the beard. I hate to make this pick, but I'm going Cleveland Browns here. They've shown that they can put together enough on offense to compete with their defense that they have and be a legitimate team this year. Especially when they get Deshaun Watson back, this should be a really kind of a powerhouse of a team, I would imagine. And with the Falcons being a pretty weak opponent, I think they can win this game pretty easily. That dude with the beard, are you going with the Falcons this week or are you joining me with the Browns?
I am officially done with the Atlanta Falcons. I've been riding with them. I've given every reason why they should be winning these games, and they just keep showing me why they can't. And lo and behold, let this be the week that they win a game when I don't go with them. But I'm going Cleveland too, because like you said, they've already proved that they know how to muster up a win. They're looking pretty feasible. They want to make a stake, for the North on their respective division. But I mean, we already know who has that locked up. We'll talk about it. You got the colors back there. Um, I just think that Cleveland is going to run away with this one, literally, with Kareem Hunt. I mean, Nick Chubb, it's over.
Yeah.
It's done for.
Yeah,
So,
especially with those two running backs, it really, gives your team a chance at least.
right, it gives you a chance to run it down the throat and never look back. So we got that one on the books here. Next, we have Buffalo at the Baltimore Ravens. And now, if you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and take the jump on this one, and I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens. Because, like I said earlier on the podcast, I believe it was episode 2, I said the only way the Ravens can win their division and if they run away with it. And Lamar has proven that he's willing to run away with it. If his performance last week was any indication of how he's going to play going forward, and if Buffalo's play is going to be indication of how they're going to be playing going forward against someone who's feasible as an opponent. I just really think that this is the opportunity for Baltimore to show that, hey, we're still in the North, we're still contending. I think they hit Buffalo in the mouth and give them, another loss in a row. I think 2 L's in a row for Buffalo. Granted, they'll bounce back more than likely, but I think this week Lamar Jackson is coming for that spot because he hears the same things. He's not in any of these quarterback conversations. He's like, I'm MVP. There's 4 guys you talk about that, hasn't even been to where I've been, done what I've done. So, you
And
know,
the only one not paid yet.
the only one I paid, yeah, we do have Chip. So this is Chip Lamar Jackson that we was talking about. Chip on the shoulder, Lamar. Looks like he's ready to run away with it. I'm going Baltimore. How about you, Mr. KC?
Well, as much as I like your Baltimore pick here, and this was a tough game for me to decide, I'm actually going to lean towards the Bills here. The Bills make me nervous coming off that tough loss to the Miami Dolphins. They put a lot out there on the field. Apparently, it's hot in Florida for Buffalo fans or something. It wasn't an excuse last year when they won 35 to nothing, but
Right.
it becomes an excuse all of a sudden. So it makes me kind of nervous because it was a tough game. But I think Buffalo has the overall better team. I think this is going to be a big, big dog fight between both teams. This should be a good game. But I'm going to lean with the Bills here. Expect this to be a very like 33-30 kind of score. I think it's going to be close, but the Bills just barely pull off a win against the Ravens.
Hmm. I'm honestly not mad at that take. I can see Buffalo kind of lingering, trying to stick into the game. I don't, I see it different, obviously, because I'm still going with the Ravens. But I mean, I can see them putting up a fight. They're still the Bills, they're scrappy. But
Yeah.
I just think Lamar has a little bit more, what did it say? More bark in his bite. if that's the
Mm-hmm.
phrase. I think he's got a little bit more umph in his game right now, especially in a prove it sense and in a I need to get paid sense. And I'm going to show you why you're going to have to give me the most money than any quarterback has ever gotten at this point.
Yeah.
So we will see on that. Next we have the Washington Commanders at the Dallas Cowboys.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh. Go ahead.
Ooh.
Ooh. What you
Ooh.
think?
Them boys. What are we doing here? We lose Dak Prescott. I think the world is ended for the Cowboys. It's done. There goes there goes the Cowboys. Pick them to win the division, and here they are already out the gate, just done. Dak Prescott's gone. And what do you know? 3-0.
What?
3-0 with big names. These are teams they should have got destroyed by with a backup quarterback. That defense is electric. The most sacks in the NFL.
Yes,
Give me
sir.
the Dallas Cowboys. That dude
And
with the beard. What are you doing here?
I'm, as far as I'm concerned, I thought I woke up in Dallas. I'm there with you. There's no doubt in my mind. Like you said, the defense is electric. The secondary is electric. Um, and what they say in rush we trust right now. He's getting it done. What else can I say? I mean, because all
For
you
the
want
low.
is right for the lowest of the low. Like all you can do is ask for a guy to come in and give him your best shot, and he's
Hmm.
doing that, and he's getting you wins.
Looking decent.
What more can you ask for? So
Yep.
I'm going with them boys. There's no question about it. Um, I don't even know why we should talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Yeah.
uh,
um,
Right.
we have the Seattle Seahawks at the Detroit Lions. Go
Well,
ahead. You know. Go ahead.
this was supposed to be my breakup week with the Lions, and here I am picking the Detroit Lions.
Pick on her
It
back.
doesn't make any sense. I don't want to do it. But it's the Seahawks, so they forced my hand back into this relationship. It was like a sudden realization that maybe I need to wait till next week to move my shit out the house. So that dude with the beard, do the Seahawks have any chance here, or are you going with the Lions?
I've finally taken a sip of what made you so intoxicated with these lines, and I am going with Detroit as well. I love Pete Carroll. I know what he can do out there with his team. I know he knows how to get the job done, but like you said, I don't know what it is. I guess I'm starting to feel the buzz because it's something about those lines that kind of like, oh, they might be able to win this game. So,
Right.
looking and like you said, it is the Seahawks. I'm What's a bird to a lion? We're going
Oof.
Detroit.
Oof.
We're going Detroit. Oh, I can't wait for that one. I'm definitely tuning in. Next we have the Los Angeles Chargers against the Houston Texans. And what do you think about that, Mr. KC? What you got?
All right, fans, this is where we start getting a little bold. What I'm going here is the Houston Texans. The Chargers are banged up. They spent all their load so quickly early in the season. They tried to beat the Chiefs so hard on a Thursday night game, and it's going to put them back for a few more weeks. Don't expect the Chargers to dominate this game. I think the Houston Texans play tougher than what they should be, and for that reason, they pull off the upset here and beat the Chargers. That dude with the beard. Who are you picking here?
Dude, yeah, I don't know if you saw my notes, but I'm right there with you. This was my upset, one of my upsets for the week. For the same reasons that you got. I mean, you gave it y'all. You thought you was in the Super Bowl in week two. You gave everything your best shot at the Chiefs, and all it did was leave your team dinged up. Like you said, you blew your load in the off season. You spent all your bread. We would expect that this team would be able to carry on regardless, but it's clearly showing that's not going to be the case. So for this week, we've seen how scrappy the Texans can be. We know how these games look in the NFL, and I could easily see the Chargers going 1-3, dropping this one early, and then maybe they go on a tear later on to try to get them into their usual spot, fighting for a spot to just be out of the wild card position.
Hmm.
So we'll see what happens with that. But I'm definitely going with the Texans, and I thought you would have picked the Chargers. I really did think you were going LA
Well,
on that one.
well, the Chargers should be a team that beats the Texans. That should be an easy win.
Right.
And all of a sudden, they made it not so easy.
For sure. So next we have here the Tennessee Titans against the Indianapolis Colts.
Oof. This is a game of the division, right? This is
Hmm.
this this is one of those games that might decide that division.
Right.
And we saw the Colts just destroy the Chiefs, and the Titans have looked ugly. But this is one of the games where the Titans bounce back. The Colts go back to looking like the team that they kind of looked like all season. So I'm going to lean with the Tennessee Titans here and say that the Colts was a fluke win for them, and that their team's not as good as they look. That dude with the beard. What do you what are you going with here?
Right here, right now, early on, I'm there with you, even though I do have the Colts still winning their division. Um, I just think Tennessee needs this game. And if you don't beat the Colts and you don't beat them now, like I said, it's really going to be hard for you to consider yourself a contender for your division later on in the year. I mean, because regardless of ugly or not, they still beat the premier team in Kansas City. So they're already coming into the game hype. They're going to be at home. So, place should be rocking, still rolling off the same energy. I just think Matt Ryan gets these guys together. I think the run game gets a little bit better for him because we've already seen, things are picking up slowly. I mean, granted, the Chiefs did a lot to help the Colts win. A lot of calls, a lot of things Chris Jones done, a lot of drops. They got their help to win, but the main thing is they won it. So I won't take anything from them. Kudos to the Colts. I'm still gonna go with Tennessee in this game though, because they needed more. I feel like if they don't get this one, they're really gonna look into moving on from Tannehill. I think it's
Right.
gonna be about time. So we will see. But I'm with you on that one. Tighten up. Let's see here. This next game has got me torn into pieces. We got the Chicago Bears against the New York Football Giants.
Oof.
And I'm kind of semi high on both of these teams. Um
Yeah,
Golly.
I want to hear your take here. That dude with the beard. How you splitting hairs here?
I'm gonna have to go with the Bears. Uh I always said I was going to keep riding with them later on this season because I actually do like their team. I like their quarterback. I do believe they're in a better situation at quarterback, even though Daniel Jones was getting it done. Him and Saquon. I mean, the Giants, they're still back though. But I gotta go with the Bears because I'm a man of my word. I'm gonna stand on it. I believe the Bears will win this in a semi statement game to kind of show the league that they really about it. We got a couple teams that are both 2-1. I think the Bears are gonna make this step to show that they're a contender in their division. Even though I think Minnesota's got it locked up, but I think the Bears are gonna be right there. I don't think it's gonna be an absolute runaway, but I got the Bears in this one. What about you, Mr. Casey?
Well, that dude with the beard. I'm going to start this off with a quote from a very wise man. The Giants are back, and the Giants are going to win this game. I don't know. I don't know what you're doing getting off this bandwagon. I know you like the Bears too, so this was a tough one for you to choose from.
Torn, torn.
But I believe the Giants are back. I'm impressed with Daniel Jones. It's a tough one with Daniel Jones because he's doing good enough to not get fired, maybe, but not good enough to win your Super Bowl. So you need to move on. And I hope the Giants remember that. But think the Giants are back. They're playing good, and it was a rough week for them last week, but I think they bounced back and get back on pace and beat the Giants. Like a wise man once said, the NFL is just better when the Giants are good. So,
Man, I wish I could meet that brother. He sounds like he knows what
poor man, right?
it sounds knowledgeable. Man. So this next game here, um, kind of had me torn, but not as torn as the last one. I'm actually going to defer to you on the beginning of this one because I'm still kind of thinking about it. I got, well, not I got, whew, almost dropped that one. We have up next the Jacksonville Jaguars against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Ooh, this is a fireworks game. The Jags versus Philly. And I believe this might be another upset alert for some fans. And I actually have Philly really high on my list, but the Jags are rising on my list too. And I'd like to make my first correction of the season. And the Jags are going to win the AFC East. And it's just become factual. They're a pretty good team. Doug Peterson's got them going. And
Mhm.
I'm going with the upset here, and I'm going with the Jaguars. That dude with the beard, is it Philly or the Jags?
And see, I don't have this as an upset on my book because I believe Jacksonville is just good enough to beat the Eagles. And I'm also going with Jacksonville because, like I told you before it even all started, I believe in Trevor Lawrence. I like how they finally have stability amongst the team. All this does is help him propel his game forward and help elevate the people around him finally to build continuity and cohesiveness that's going to last them the rest of the season and possibly going forward if they can help keep most of this roster intact. I love the Eagles. Like I said, I picked them to win their division. Um, I just think every dog has its day, and I just think what's a bird to a jaguar? You gotta boil
Right,
it down. You
right.
gotta boil it down. But I like the boy Trevor Lawrence in this one. I believe this is more of a statement game for Jacksonville. It's gonna show the NFL, like I said, because Jalen, he's already showed the NFL that he's here. Like I said, he
Right.
should. And I believe this is Trevor's time because we need more than talk than just Herbert and all these other guys. When I really think Trevor Lawrence is probably better than Herbert, but we'll see. Like I said, he ain't you always talk about the systems, and people say, "Oh, he lucked up to be here, lucked up to be there." It's the NFL. You luck up to be anywhere. But I
I mean,
think,
Joe Burrow did go to a slightly better situation than
yeah,
not by much, but
not by much, but yeah, it was
yeah.
feasible enough to put him over, and that's how I feel about Trevor Lawrence. But like I said, I'm not gonna keep talking too much about him. But we're going Jacksonville. It sounds like both of us, and for good
Hmm.
reasons. Um, Next game we have the New York Jets against the champions of the AFC North, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you already know where I'm going with this, so I'm going to defer to you, and you can let the people know because people, if you've been watching, you know where I'm going. I almost don't even want to talk about this one, Mister
Yeah, and
KC.
I might actually surprise some people here because I believe the Jets are getting Zach Wilson back this week, and I
Ooh,
think that's a nice excitement for that New York Jets team. So I'm going with
on the
the New
road though.
York Jets.
On the road.
Surprisingly, much as I want to pick the Steelers, I want to be on that bandwagon. But I think this is the week that Mitch Trubisky loses his job, and the Jets win that game. That dude with the beard, tell me how the Steelers are about to win this game.
All for the reasons you say, because I believe this is the week Mr. Trubisky loses his job, and then we get the young boy Pickett in the game, and he's gonna come in throwing darts and rally Pittsburgh, and gonna rouse the media for a whole week straight. They're gonna talk about the sensational play. I can see it now. It's the NFL. As the NFL turns, I'm telling you. Watch this game. Watch these Steelers. They're still the kings of the North, as far as I'm concerned. Even though we see Baltimore and them coming, but I'm definitely going Steelers without a doubt.
Nice, nice.
Let's see. Next, we have the Arizona Cardinals at the Carolina Panthers.
Woo. talk about two underperforming teams.
I'm trying to tell you, two of the most underwhelming teams in the NFL right now. And you know what? If you don't mind, I'm actually take the lead on this one. And I've been trying to give my man Baker an opportunity, and I believe this is the last week that I'm going to do it. I'm going to go with Carolina over the Cardinals because I feel like they have to win this game. They need to win this game. Almost, if you don't win, this is like you said, it's going to pretty much determine how the rest of your season is going to go. We're
Yeah,
quarter of the way through almost, almost
right.
to the quarter mark.
Pretty,
So
pretty much.
you got to
Yeah,
have a dub to even be viable in this league at this point. So if they can't win this game, it's a wrap for the season, and I don't think that it's over that soon for Carolina. So I'm going to go with the Panthers on this one.
yeah, that dude with the beard. I think the Panthers are a great pick. I understand why you picked them. Uh, but I think Kyler Murray's a better quarterback. I've been riding with the Cardinals this season, and it's been biting me kind of hard, actually. I think the only one I got right was when the Chiefs played them. So that doesn't even really do me any favors. Feel like I can't accurately predict these Ravens, or sorry, the
Right.
Cardinals. And I just think Kyler Murray's the better quarterback here, and I'll always kind of lean towards quarterback play in my making my decisions. So I expect the Cardinals to be in a closer game than it should be. They really should be blowing the Panthers out here, but I think it'll be a close game. But give the Cardinals the win for me.
See, if the Cardinals was at full strength, I would be almost in agreement with you here. But they're showing without DeAndre that the buck really stops there. Is this one of those situations where the receiver makes the quarterback? I often
Yeah.
wonder that. Um, Moving on to the game that I have as the next upset game of the week, I have the New England Patriots against the Green Bay Packers. And
Where's
I am
the
going, huh?
where's the upset here?
Yeah, New
Where's
England over
Oh,
the Packers.
whoa, whoa. I was gonna say I thought everybody knew the Packers were winning.
No, New England.
Oh,
We have to have this win. If not, I will be forced to really reconsider my bid for you guys to win the AFC East because you're 1-2 as of now, and you got to get the ball rolling. You got to have it. I need to see what's going on with Mac Jones. I wonder if he's playing
he's
or not.
I believe he's out. You're getting
Is
Hoyer.
he out? Oh,
Yeah,
hey,
you get
well,
you're getting Hoyer versus Aaron Rodgers.
that makes the upset even more sweeter. So we're
Oof.
gonna we're gonna ride with the Patriots. Boston, stand up. I'm trying to give y'all a shot as much as I can because I know what Belichick can do. But look, if y'all can't keep this thing rolling, it will be illogical for me to continue to ride with you guys as much as I want to. Prove me right. Prove me right, New England.
Well,
What about you, Mike?
what I gotta say about this one is the only thing that makes sense is Vegas will probably have way too much money on the Packers on this game, so maybe you do get that Vegas win somehow. But I believe Aaron Rodgers versus Hoyer, even if it's Mac Jones, it's just such a big quarterback quality gap. Even when you have the better coach for the Patriots, give me the Packers all day, especially on being a banged up team.
I hear you on that. We're gonna see. That's why it's called the upset alert. You heard it here
Yeah.
first, folks. Um, Next game we have here, we have the Denver Broncos against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Ooh.
And I'm going with these Las Vegas Raiders because you talk about a team you need to get a win. If you don't get a win right now, you might not get that coveted wild card spot coming out the AFC West. You might not get it. So either Derek Carr gets this thing rolling and they get this thing tuned up now, or they're gonna watch that spot slip away, and it might end up falling to the Chargers after all. So we'll see. I'm gonna go with the Vegas Raiders again this time, and we're gonna see. Just like I said, we're on team watch alert. We're gonna see what happens. Who are you going with, Mister KC?
Yeah, talk about a fireworks show of a game here. The Denver Broncos versus the Las Vegas Raiders, the dumpster fire of the AFC West. We were supposed to be the toughest division in football until these two clowns showed up. So I've said all off season Derek Carr's better quarterback than Russell Wilson, and both have had trouble showing who could be worse.
Right.
They're in a dogfight to prove that the other guy is slightly better than he actually is. So the captain of I'm slightly better than the other guy is going to be Derek Carr. I believe Derek Carr still is probably the slightly better quarterback. So I'm going to join you with the Raiders here and say Russell Wilson and the Broncos lose this week.
Yes, sir. I'm in total agreement. Like I said, they gotta have it. If you don't get it this week, then kiss it goodbye. Now we have the game of Sunday, the Sunday night game, prime time, battle of the best quarterbacks we've seen, arguably, if you want to combine all the time within the last 10 years. We have the Kansas City Chiefs at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Mr. KC, I'm going to defer to you to start this one off. And I want to pick your brain. Who wins this game?
Well, Chiefs Kingdom, we lost an ugly, stupid game that we had no business losing because Andy Reid doesn't beat bad teams the way he should. He doesn't go scorched earth. He doesn't want to embarrass coaches. So instead of doing 42 to 14, like the scoreboard should have been, you end up losing a close game because you allow it to be closer than it's supposed to. Stupid things cause stupid problems. We had trouble scoring and a bunch of other stupid things. But with all those downfalls, we're still better than Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year. So the Kansas City Chiefs are going to come into Tampa Bay. I'm gonna maybe fly my little Chiefs flag a little harder here in Tampa this week. Expecting to be hanging from all my windows, even with the hurricane going on, and celebrate this Kansas City Chiefs victory. That do with the beard. Who are you picking this week?
I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs as well in this game, only because they need to have this win. I believe that every game early on is a must win for this team simply because they have so much to prove to us. They have so much to prove to themselves and to the rest of the league who's been writing them off. You lose a nasty, ugly game that, like I said, should have never even been close in to begin with, and then you're going to go and play the team that throttled you in the Super Bowl. So I know you got to have some kind of leftover taste over that you want to get that off your back here. And I know you want to get back on track with the win. September is usually an undefeated month for the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs fans have been spoiled to that for the last few years or so, even with Alex Smith, you know. So we're expecting a big win here. I honestly think it's going to be a close game, probably a 10-point win at the if that. But I am going to go with Kansas City in this one, and it's going to be gritty. It's going to be what my boy Jr. says, a slobber knocker. So we will see, but I'm definitely going to go with the Chiefs here because I believe A7 is going to have a big game because he feels bad about what happened last week, and he knows had he made a few more plays, we'd be 3-0.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Andy Reid steps up for these kind of games. This is where he brings out his playbook,
Right,
and we'll just enjoy this win.
right. And then the last game that we have here, Monday night, we have the Super Bowl champion LA Rams against the San Francisco 49ers. Retooling, redoing it. Jimmy G's back. What do you think about that, Mr. Casey?
Whew, this is a tough game here. And I think I'm going to lean with the 49ers. I think this is going to be a little bit of an upset. I think the Rams have a slightly better team, obviously better quarterback play, and the list is pretty stacked towards the Rams. But I
Right.
think the 49ers, this is their chance to save their season. If they want to be competitive, this is a must win game for them. I don't think it is for the Rams to win the division. So I'm going to lean for the 49ers. I think they got a lot of heart, and they're going to put it all out on Monday night. That dude with the beard, who do you got?
I'm gonna go with the Super Bowl champion LA Rams. Just a couple of reasons behind that. For one, I believe that this is a statement game for them. I believe they need a win over a quality opponent to show the rest of the division and the NFC really like, hey, we're still here. Because isn't that a rematch of the championship game last year almost?
I think
It
so,
was it
yeah.
was pretty close to that. Um, I just think that the Rams are far more equipped on defense to really solidify this game. I think Jimmy G is getting everything rolling down there, but I think it may be another week or two before we see them as the San Fran of old, or for at least from the last few years since 2019 San Fran, a team that you come in and be like, okay, they can beat anybody any given Sunday, kind of deal. I just think LA, like I said, is going to use this as a statement to get their swag back, if you will, to really get back to championship form. I think it's almost a big win for them, almost a double-digit win. But we will see. It's going to be a beautiful game. I really think it's going to be a lot of good hits. I think it's going to be fast-paced. We know how they like to run the ball on both sides, so we're going to see what happens.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. And as far as picks, that's everything we got for this week here. Um, Quick question. How are you feeling about your top teams? Do you got a particular order, a little power rank, if you will,
Yes,
for
sir.
us?
Yes, sir. I like this. It's one of my favorite segments to prepare for every week, I think. We get a chance to sit back and just look at all 32 teams and say, who are the boldest seven? Who are the seven that stand out? What are the we could go 10, but we know the last three don't really matter.
Right.
They're not the teams that we care about. We want the bold seven. So we're gonna just start doing seven teams, I think, and you're gonna want to buckle up for these. Okay, I'm about to. If you have a drink, finish it right now. This is your warning. Parental advisory. My number one team this week is the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins have shown they're that team. Number two is the Philadelphia Eagles. It's much higher than they should be, but they've shown they're a quality team, and I won't deny them. Number three is Kansas City. They shouldn't be. Actually, I'm taking it back. Number three is Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills, you get this spot because Kansas City lost to an ugly Colts team, and I'm punishing them and moving them to the number four spot until they beat these ugly teams again, and then we'll get them back up higher in that list. Number five, and I cannot believe they've made this spot on my list, and that is the Cowboys. What are they doing in my top five? All of a sudden, their defense is electric. I'm not stopping them. Number five. Number six, we're going Baltimore Ravens. Look, this
Ooh,
team is stronger than their record shows. They're in every game. Lamar Jackson is making the playoffs. Watch it. He's
okay.
getting paid for a reason.
I
And
like it.
number seven, the last team, and they have the worst roster. They should not be in the top 10, let alone number seven. But that is the Green Bay Packers. That dude with the beard.
Oh,
What do we
man.
got here? Give me this bold seven take. What's your list looking like now that everybody is just flabbergasted?
I have at the number one spot the Philadelphia Eagles. They're flying, they're rolling. Um, Jalen is a better quarterback than Tua. And I only bring two up because I do put Miami at number two right now. Just out of respect of you beat Buffalo. You didn't beat them handily, but it was a gritty game that you found a way to win. And so much respect to them. They'll be at my number two spot. Number three, I'm gonna go ahead and put in the Super Bowl champion LA Rams. I like how they look still front to bottom. I still think they're probably the most dangerous team still in the NFC. Um, at the number four spot here, we're going to go ahead and go with the Buffalo Bills, only because they lost a gritty game to probably the best team in their division right now, just at the moment. Number five, I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs. Like you said, it's kind of a slide for me because you lost a game that you had no business losing. You need to show me that you deserve to be in the top five and not fifth.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, yeah, I just can't believe it. But number six, I have the Minnesota Vikings. Like I said, they're the perennial winners of the AFC. I'm sorry, not AFC, the NFC North right now, in my opinion. And it's just hard for me to pick against them, even if they do, have Green Bay moving up or whatever, because it's AA Ron, blah 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 blah. And number seven, which is probably my most unconventional one, and it's probably the sleeper one, is the Jacksonville Jaguars coming in
Ooh.
2-1 under the radar, about to move to 3-1, about to pick up the most statement win of their season this week. I really believe that they're a team who's wild card ready. And if honestly, if teams aren't careful, they could come around and win the division. Like I said, if the Colts aren't ready, Jacksonville is.
Yeah. Yeah, and I agree with you there. I thought, like I said earlier, I think it is actually looking at this season so far. I think it's the Jags' division to lose at this
Right.
point. It's wild to think about.
Right. That Jacksonville's like, you guys are almost the favorites. When's the last
Right.
time we said that? No, Jones
How are we
Drew.
saying that
Yeah, I was
is the
saying
bigger
where's Jones
question.
Drew? Who was it? Who was they had? What was his name? David Garrard or whoever the quarterback was?
Oh
I can't
yeah,
even.
yeah,
Golly, man. Byron Leftwich. Come on,
yeah. Questions.
come on, right? Come on, Fred Taylor. Y'all had some hitters, man. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no. That's everything that I had on my end. To the people, I want to thank you as usual for tuning in with us, for giving us the views, for subscribing, for leaving comments. We having contests. We have contest winners already. We have more merchandise that's coming up that's going to be raffled away. We're just so appreciative to everybody who's really being a part of this and growing with us because we're only going to keep growing. We're going to keep getting better, keep bringing more content, keep bringing more bold predictions. We'll start having betting soon. Everything that you can think of, we're going to cover. And once again, hats off to you guys. And we're just so appreciative of y'all rocking with us. Mr. KC from the 813, is there anything you want to tie on to that or anything you want to say at all?
Yeah, that dude with the beard. I just want to thank everybody that's tuned in and watched and participated in any form into our show, especially if you've seen it to this point. Hats off to you. We really appreciate you tuning in. I want to give a shout out to all my other Floridians out here. We're going through some tough stuff. This is hurricane going through today
Prayers.
as we're filming. Luckily, I'm in a safe, secure suburb, nice neighborhood, so I don't have to worry about anything, thankfully. But it's really not far from my neck of the woods, and it's devastating to think what could be happening to someone at this moment. And hopefully, this is at least a distraction to take your mind off things. And
Yeah, little ray of
it,
sunshine in a hellish situation. Prayers to
yeah,
y'all. Definitely
yeah,
much prayers to
exactly.
Florida right now.
Yeah, and just we hope to see you guys next week is all I can say.
Yeah, definitely. Once again, this is bold predictions. We thank you. We love you guys, and peace to you. Peace to Florida. Much prayers. Much love to everybody.
You either be bold with your predictions or don't say nothing at all. Let's talk some football.